Good evening. My name is Sue Booth, and bear with me a minute. I'm just trying to sort this out. I'm not doing very well here. Um, Spotlight. Yeah, there we go. Right. That should be that. Right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. And it's my pleasure today to take you through the product presentation. So if you've not been exposed to the products before, Zinzino have an amazing range of products, nutritional products that actually work synergistically with each other, and they are exceptional. And I'm ever thankful for finding these products 4.5 years ago. So, as I say, my name is Sue Booth. I'm a director with the company, and I have loved every minute of this journey. So the company are based out in Stockholm. Sorry, not Stockholm. I was just talking to someone about Stockholm, in Gothenburg, and in Sweden, and that really makes a big change to most companies that you'll find in this sort of nutritional space. And I think the lovely thing about it, the company have such great ethos, and it literally goes throughout the whole corporate system, everything. I'm just going to mute people. Bear with me 1 second. Oh. Right, just muted everybody, so hopefully you can still hear me. Yes, you can. And so yes, we have a completely different ethos, I think, to an awful lot of companies out in this space, and they have this Kaizen attitude, which is constantly improving, and which I love that whole thing. So let me take you through. So my pleasure, as I say, tonight. So we know that we all want to stay feeling fit and healthy. Staying fit and healthy now has been so important. And these past 3 years that we've been through have actually been instrumental in people actually realizing that they need to take control of their own health. And I was one of those as well. And it's really been a blessing to be able to have done that. We've made such a difference in the last few years since we launched in the UK, and we've now tested over 20,000 people, and we have a massive amount of customers within the UK as well, and that's all through COVID. So that makes a massive difference as well. So we know that so many people, despite the fact that we have more opportunity to be educated about the problems, and we know that at the same time those health problems are just increasing on a daily basis. And we've got to, ask the question why? Because we're educated, we can Google things at a drop of a hat, but we still are suffering from these problems that are constantly increasing. So we know that this whole concept of letting your food be your medicine and letting your medicine be your food has become such an important thing. And as I say, I think we want to go back to a more Ayurvedic way of looking after our health, because we know that works, and we know it works in conjunction with your body. So it's very much more compatible with your body, rather than having to use medication, which is pharmaceutical. And Hippocrates had it right. He really had. So we need to revert back to that and actually reintroduce herbs, spices, etc. And that's exactly what we do with Zinzino. So if you go back to the way we used to eat, when 100 years ago, there wasn't all this, or maybe a little bit longer, 100 years ago or plus, there wasn't all the industrial revolution happened then. But so we were eating foods that were uncontaminated, and probably there weren't cars on the roads, and so there was no pollution in that respect. So as we saw, what we ate is, we had the right nutrients, the minerals, phytonutrients, everything we needed in our body to be fit and healthy. And we probably ate about 3-4 times more than we do now. But then we worked an awful lot harder, we worked on the field, and we were able to manage our health very much better than we do now. And what's happened now is we eat a much more processed diet. The whole ethos of farming has changed dramatically. So we see, instead of, hens and chickens running around in the field, or, kind of in the wild, then we're not getting that now. They're just put into containers and they're fed lots of stuff to improve their yield of eggs and also improve the yield of their meat as well. So this is just on the chicken side. So we know the same happens in the meat industry as well. So farming has changed in such a way that it now makes the food pretty tasteless, a lot of it, because of the way that it's actually being farmed and maintained, like feeding, etc. So then they now have to add in extra sugars, salts, etc., to improve the flavor. And by doing that, this becomes ultra processed. And so we know it's lower in nutrients. We know it's high in sugar and salt, which is not beneficial for our systems. But it's also full of empty calories. And it's I love the analogy that they've created something that is so appealing that people crave it more. It has that bliss point. And so that bliss marketing of food is now prevalent all over the world. And we know that that's had a huge impact on people's health. We find that there's a big imbalance now of essential fatty acids within our system. And we also know that those essential fatty acids should be in a correct ratio to allow us to function as we should do. And quite often, we know that we don't eat enough omega-3s within our system. We don't make those things within our bodies. A lot of our body is very clever and manages to make so much of the things that we need, but it actually can't with the omega-3s and 6. So you have to consume them in your diet. So we know, let's have a look at the history of omega-6-3 ratios. So if you look at that, then what you will find is that, kind of back in the 1850s, we had a balance of 1-to-1. That's when you're born, you're balanced at 1-to-1. And we knew that the food was very much more nutritious probably then than it is now, because of the way that they farmed then and the way we do now. And 1850s, and we know that our bodies will happily manage on being able to be 3-to-1 or around that, because that's when as we start to increase the amount of foods that we eat, that's automatically going to start increasing as well. And so that 3-to-1 ratio is actually good. That's an optimal range. So anything between 1-to-1 and 3-to-1 is great for your body to actually function as it should do. We saw a big change around the 1960s, and I really think that was because of things like the microwave. The microwave was introduced in this era, and we started seeing people, instead of preparing food on a daily basis and fresh food, that they would opt now to go and have convenience food. So the first of the processed foods, you'd buy your dinner in a packet and you'd stick it in your microwave. And by doing that, not only the microwave will actually kill any goodness in that food anyway, any energy in that food, but it also then just stopped people doing the job that they would normally do, was creating a meal at home, and rather than having to buy processed foods. We also found that at this time, mums and dads would be going out to work maybe 2 jobs at a time because they needed to bring more income into the household. And so by doing this, then this convenience food was very much more appealing to them, because it took 5 minutes to be able to, get the meal on the table for the family. But it might not have been just as a right decision at that time. And we've started to see that increase. So you see that it's kind of raised here, 4-to-1, and then we've got the 15-to-1. So the 15-to-1 is now the average for the UK and Europe. That's appalling. Now, I was shocked when I got my results back, because I've been taking an omega-3 product for years, like 30 odd years. But we're now seeing children coming up as high as 25-to-1. Now, that's really not good, because that means they're going to go towards adulthood with inflammatory markers being raised, and that really can cause problems ongoing as they get older. So what are the consequences of being out of balance? If someone doesn't know what is in balance or out of balance, or wasn't aware of that whole process, then you may actually not be, informed about that. So we know that it reduces brain function, it reduces your hair quality, your heart function, your skin elasticity, so you start aging quicker, and reduce organ function. But I think probably the obvious one is the joint and muscle pains that people get. And those definitely start to increase when you have an outweighing of omega-6 within your diet. So maybe you're eating too many processed foods, or just, maybe you just don't eat any omega-3s from oily fish or nuts and seeds. So we need to get that back into balance. So when that happens, we know that our cells become slightly different. And, one of the things that I always say is that, you may notice that your joints and muscles are aching. You may notice that your hair quality is not as good. But how do you check to see whether your brain function, your heart function, and all your inner organ function are, kind of working as they should do? And to be fair, we don't know. The only way you know is to be able to test. So this is what happens to our cells when we have too much omega-6. You can see that the outside is more hard and rigid, and it becomes more difficult to get any nutrients from your diet into your system. And so the fact that it's more difficult to get into your system, into your cells, it doesn't allow that cell to function as it should do. And also the waste products don't come out as easily. So you've got really a compromised cell. And remember, we've got 37 trillion. So, one cell, if we had to deal with one cell, would be one thing, but 37 trillion affects our whole system. So we need to be aware of that. So getting back to that 3-to-1 ratio balance is really important, but important that you do it safely and in the shortest amount of time, because we want to address that as quickly as possible. So normal functioning cell becomes more soft, flexible membrane around each of these cells. And when that happens, that allows nutrients to get into the system that much better. So anything you eat from your diet. And, I'd always thought that I had a pretty good diet. We rarely eat processed foods. We cook fresh every night. And yet I was still way out of balance myself. So it really put me into questioning why it was so bad for me. But, as much as I thought I had a good diet, I wasn't absorbing anything of it. So that, again, is a worry. So when you're absorbing more, as it becomes soft and flexible, the cell actually functions as it should do. And more importantly, any toxins are excreted out through the cell into the lymphatic system. So it actually works on a complete circle, if you like. And we just need to make sure that we continue to do that to be able to get the best out of our system. So how do you know? How do you know if you're in that danger zone? Well, I thought, as someone who'd been taking an omega-3 product for over 30 years, I thought that for me, this was, one of the things I thought, yes, without a doubt. And I remember when Dave asked me a very important question that I thought, he knew that I'd had a heart attack in 2017. So yeah, health was really important to me. And when he asked me, he said, do you take an omega-3 product? I said, yeah, I've taken it for years, so I know how important it is. Well, I said, I'll probably be in balance. And I was a bit blasé about it, really. But when I did my test, I wasn't in balance. I was nearer that national average of 15-to-1. I was 14.4-to-1. And I do eat fish. I love fish. I eat a lot of mackerel. I eat a lot of salmon. And I eat lots of seeds and nuts, etc., avocados, all the things that you would consider to be healthy, but obviously not in the right amounts that I was taking. So this now has become my cheat sheet, if you like. It's my biohack. It allows me to take the product and not have to worry so much about my actual diet. And so we know that a lot of people don't even eat fish, so we've got a vegetarian option. And so we're just allowing the fact that you don't eat enough fish. We also need to know that we've got the antioxidants in there to mop up all those free radicals that cause damage around our systems. So if there was a test that you could do, which is exactly what Dave asked me, that would find out whether your diet and lifestyle had impacted on your cellular health, would that be something you'd like to do? And without a doubt, I put my hand up and said, absolutely, let's do it now. And Nigel and I both did a test, and we both came out at 14.4 to 1. Now that means nothing to most people, 14.4 to 1. I thought I was going to be good. Oh, I was so bad, it was ridiculous. I was all in the red except for my diet. My diet was good. My arachidonic acid was good. But this is all scientifically done. And so we now have 3 tests. We've got the balance test here, which checks your omega-6-3 ratios, a vitamin D test, which establishes whether you need to supplement during winter, especially. And in the Northern Hemisphere, we probably do all need to do that. And then we've got the latest test, which is the HbA1c test, which determines whether you have a predisposition to becoming type 2 diabetic. And they also then give you amazing profile about how, or a manual, how you can actually reverse that and do the right things that you need, whether it's exercise, diet, etc. So it's really in depth and quite astounding, I think, really quite astounding. Our tests are analysed by an independent laboratory partner, Vitas Analytical Services, and they're based out in Oslo Science Park. But they partner with all these really well-known universities, hospitals, etc., all around the world. So we know that they are the gold standard of laboratory testing. That's all they do. They've been in business for around about 26 years, and they literally just do dry blood spot testing. So we have really pioneered the way, and we are their biggest customer. So again, I had the confidence that this laboratory was actually going to do the right thing and actually analyze my test perfectly, and that it did. So to date, I've just checked this before I came online, we've done 1 million. We did 1 million on the 1st of July, and since then we've done another 132,537. So we know that the world is showing out of balance, but it's just how out of balance it is. It's really obscene, really, to see how out of balance it is. So you can see here 99% in North America and 95% in Europe, and with the idea that, you know, we're the same in the UK as well. But globally, we're looking at 97%. Now, we understand that the American market tend to eat a huge amount more of processed foods. And in fact, I always remember speaking to someone years ago when my father lived in the States for a long time. And they were said, the lady I was speaking to was a really great cook. And she said, do you know what's really sad? She said only 1 meal in a week is eaten at home in America. 1 meal a week. That's really worrying. So they've all got these fabulous kitchens, which are always pretty gorgeous, and they don't use them. And I just thought, wow, what a waste. But it determined that, you know, that's why they're so out of balance. So we're on a mission to get everyone back into balance and obviously improve, you know, kind of people one by one. So find out your personal results by doing your test. So we have our balance test, as I said, which is very simple to do. It's very easy to do. It takes a couple of minutes, and you just have to analyze it. You have to register it on zinzino-test.com. And, you know, the nice thing about this is for customers, and we're looking at a customer presentation here. Customers, if they have a money back guarantee, as long as they have a subscription in place. So if their first test comes back 100% imbalance, which is 3 to 1 or better, then they would be offered their money back, no questions asked. And the company realized that if someone is imbalanced, that they actually don't need our product, and whatever they're doing currently with their diet and any nutrition that they're taking is working for them, so they don't need the product. So it's a really great thing to reassure customers that actually that is in place if they come back in balance. So we have personal recommendations, we've got tailored solutions that we're able to do, and proof of the pudding is that it works. So this was my test result, 14.4 to 1, pretty appalling. And as I say, I was so shocked when I realized that whatever I'd been taking for the past 34 years was not doing the job, because I was so far out of balance. I had 0 protection levels, which actually derived from your omega-3. It was just like, whoa, okay, I need to do something. So I changed. I switched to the balance oil and a couple of other products, and very pleased that in most cases, we can bring you back into balance within 120 days. Mine took a little longer, it took about 300 days to get me back into balance. But I'd been on quite a bit of medication after I'd had a heart attack in 2017. So I was, kind of wary of that, and I was understanding that it was going to take me a little bit longer. But once I was back into balance, everything started to improve. Everything. Even the fact that I was actually reducing my medication, and I actually stopped after 4 months, and I've been medication free for 4 years now. Now that's my testimony. No one, no medical claims here, but I am fit and healthy now and have no need for any medication, which is great. So we have a scientific advisory board who actually created the products, and we've got patented products. We've got our own manufacturing and research and development. So we're not reliant on outside sources for our products to be developed and manufactured, which I think is really reassuring as well. So Dr. Paul Clayton, he's my savior. He's the person I kind of thank for helping me get off my medication. Ola Eid is another one of the formulators, so the two together. And then Angela Rizzo is the lady who actually devised the test. And she has done a huge amount of work with ADHD and autism in adolescents, and she's based out in Italy, in Milan. And then Dr. Abraham, I can't say his other name, Dr. Abraham is in the kind of Asian market and, kind of Australia, what do you call it, Australia, Chinese market around there. So it's but he's just recently joined us in the last year or so. But again, all these people have such great input. And of course, I should mention that we've actually got, I haven't got him on this slide, Dr. Colin Robertson, who is our Chief Product Officer. Now, he has been such a revolution for the UK market, especially because he's based in the UK. And he's a sports scientist, and he understands why these things are important. So the products are exceptional. Our balance oil, which you see here, is not a fish oil. It's way, way more important than a fish oil. It's all about those polyphenols. The polyphenols are the game changer within the omega-3 industry. And I think really we ought to be holding the omega-3 industry to answer to the fact that their products don't work and people are still paying for them. You also have to remember that the omega-3 is the largest selling supplement in the world, but 0.02% of them have no idea whether it's working or not. The only way you can find out is to actually do a test, and that's where we have our point of difference. So we've got a very synergistic formula. So 60% fish grade fish oil, and it's very high purity. It's small sustainable fish, so like things like anchovies, mackerel and sardines, the oily fishes, but they don't live a huge amount of time. And then those are obviously processed, and then what they do is they add back in the polyphenols which come from extra virgin olive oil, and they pre-harvest those olives. So they're probably around about two months before they're ripe enough to eat. But when they're 2 months prior to harvest, that's when the polyphenols are in abundance. And it means that we can actually get that protecting that omega-3 molecule, which is very fragile, and it helps it chaperone it through the system. So it's an really amazing formula. Tastes great. It's really simple to take. We've even got a formula which is geared, which I've got here, in fact, the Tutti Frutti one, which is geared for children, which is also superb. But the product works, and we know it works. The reason we know it works has been independently tested by a company called Syntef. And this was done some time ago now, but they tested it through all the processes that would happen in your body. So it obviously goes through heat, goes through your stomach acids, all those things, all through your colon, into wherever it goes, and into that cellular level. It takes around about 26 hours to do that. So you need to have something that's going to stay fresh and not fishy, as it says here, and potent all the way through. So having that stability is so important. And they tested it against krill oil, concentrated omega-3 oil, which is what I was taking, and they say that lasts for only 9 hours before it starts deteriorating and oxidizing. 15 hours for cod liver oil. So again, it's still not enough time to get into the system enough to actually do benefit to your cells. So, we know that krill oil is very expensive, so you might as well just kind of poured it down the sink, which is a real shame because people spend their hard-earned money on it. But I know now people want to know that the product's working, and that's where we have that point of difference. We have a test. So this is our balance oil, as we mentioned, and it is exceptionally good. We have different flavors available, and it's got this, combination of polyphenols and wild fish, EPA, DHA, and DPA, and it's also got vitamin D in, and that's partly to help with the process of maintaining the purity, not maintaining the product stability on there. All naturally sourced ingredients. And again, that really impressed me, the fact that the company, even down to the flavorings that they use, are all natural. And it's dosed by weight and age. So children take a slightly higher dose than adults, but then they need it because they have a different necessity for omega-3 in the way that as they're growing. We have a premium oil, which has got higher density of polyphenols. So that's got 30% more polyphenols, and that means that probably helps you improve it that much quicker. In my view, you would. I mean, it would be like taking an extra tablespoon of olive oil every day on top of the balance oil. So that really helps. And this is in orange lemon mint. It's a combination flavor which works as well, but it working exactly the same way by dosing it with weight and age. A scent for those wusses who don't like to take the oil, and we have a few of them, but some people, it's great when you're traveling. I have to say, I always have a pack in the house for when I'm traveling, because it's essential that you've got something that actually is not going to leak anywhere and things like that. But this is exactly the same formulation, except what they also have added into this one is they've added in the Revo, which is the like the premium version, if you like. And the polyphenols, then slightly different combination of things here, and I think that's due to the fact that it's got olive fruit extract and cocoa powder to prevent oxidation, and that's probably down to the fact that it's a veggie cap as well. But again, it's all the things that you need, and it's dosed by weight and age too. Aqua-X is designed for people who maybe have delicate stomachs or difficulty digesting oils and fats. And maybe you don't have a gallbladder. Someone who hasn't got a gallbladder would probably be better to use this product. It's dispersible in water or any liquid. So you could put it in juice, you could mix it into anything really. So it's fine, and it's a lemony flavor. Again, it works well. My grandchildren were on this when they very first started because we thought it would be easier for them to manage it rather than, an oil. But they've now switched to the oil now. We also have a vegan product. The vegan product is a kind of patented version of our product, and it works by, it's actually got polyphenols in there as well. The algae that this comes from is micronized algae, and it's actually grown in tubes, so it's completely contaminant free. Let me just let this person in. Sorry. And so it's contaminant free, and it's very easy to know that it's kind of 100% vegan, which is great. So we've even got the vegans covered. Again, dosed by weight and age too. All of our products are made with the highest quality and care. And I think that that's important nowadays because people are very much more savvy about certain things. Maybe you follow a gluten-free diet and things like that. People are concerned about non-GMO things, and all our products fall into those guidelines. So we know that that's a great kind of credibility for our company. We also have Inform Sport. Now, one of the things when we joined, we were saying about Inform Sport, and we finally ended up getting the quality, the certification for that for all our products. That means that sports people can take it without worrying about they're taking something that's banned. And I know that my grandson, who's a professional footballer, was concerned about that because he said, unless it says it on the packet, I can't take it. And I'm very pleased to say that it's now on the packet or on the bottle, which is great. So all these things are addressed as well. Who needs it? Well, if you're not aware of how important omega-3 is, and you haven't understood anything I've said, every single cell in our body needs the omega-3. It needs it within your system. And as we say, we don't create it within our own bodies. We have to either ingest it either through diet or through supplementation. And from the minute you're conceived, you start needing that product, needing that omega-3 within your system to help you grow. And obviously, if the baby's taking it from the mother and the mother's deficient already, then the baby's going to be born with a deficiency of omega-3, which is not good, because that can sometimes deteriorate. Oh, there's an alarm going off, my apologies. That can also deteriorate the development process as well. So it's really wanting to make sure you're fit and healthy all through your life, from the minute you're born to the minute you're conceived to the day you leave the planet. And we feel that that really works with Zinzino products. So we've got 18 health claims that we're allowed to claim about our product, which really is approved by European Food Standard Authority. And, as many as there are here, there's 145 in total, but those three green ones at the top, brain function, heart function, immune function, who doesn't want to improve those, especially what we've been through in the last 3 years? We need to know that we have to take responsibility for our own health. And this is one way I believe that you are able to do this quite admirably. So my test results, as I say, mine took a little bit longer than 120 days, but about 300 days. But 95% of the people who do take it on a daily basis, the Zinzino Balance supplements, are back in balance within 120 days. Nigel, my other half, was. And we were both 14.4 to 1, and he was 2 to 1 when he retested after 120 days. I finally came down at 300 days to 2.4, and I'm still around about 2.4 now. I've just done a test recently. Makes a massive difference. And the lovely thing is you can compare your progress. So you can compare your first test to your second test within the app. It's very clever. And then you can see where your problem areas are as well, which is good. But, reaching that balance of omega-6 is really just the first step to feeling good and staying fit and healthy. But we have got other products that work synergistically with it. So let's just going to take you through a few of those. Zinobiotic is one of my favorites, and the reason it's my favorite, it's so adaptable. You can add it into, it's a dietary fiber blend, I should say, and it's about improving your gut health. It changes your microbiome within such a short amount of time that it allows you to actually do that very gently, but also improves your whole system. So it time releases through your gut and through your colon, and actually repopulates the good bacteria by feeding it with the good dietary fiber. So it's a very clever thing. It improves your bowel function if that's an issue for you. But getting your gut health in good order is so important, because your gut talks to your brain via the vagus nerve. And if you don't have that gut brain connection, then you are going to be falling foul of something within your system. So it's trying to improve it on all levels. So this is a fantastic product. It's mixed with water. You can cook with it. You can put it in smoothies, as you can see here. We've got sachets for those people who want to travel with it. So it's really adaptable, and it's not altered by heat either. So you could use it within cooking, and we often use it as a thickener in soups and things. So we're still getting our Zinobiotic within our food as well, even if we're not taking it on a daily basis. But we do tend to. Extend, we've got two different types of Extend Plus and also Extend, the original version. And they both do different things, but effectively you're going to become more energized. It improves your bone and joint function, which is crucial nowadays because we all get aches and pains. And it's really contributing to a normal immune function. I think it's it's improving the innate immune system as well. So that's really important. We have a health protocol, and as a customer, this is one of the most popular options for people. And the reason being is, as I said before, it addresses 3 different areas. So it's tailoring to your personal supplement needs. But step 1, balance out your omega levels and make sure that you've got normal heart and brain function. Then restoring your gut health is important, as I say, to help contribute towards balancing out cholesterol levels and, reducing those sugar spikes. If you're kind of erring towards the type 2 diabetes, it just smooths it out a little bit. So when you do eat sugar, you don't spike as much as you normally would. and then supporting your immune system, your innate immune system with Extend. And over the last 3 years, I've said to you that we've been very compromised on all aspects. And one of the things that a lot of people have added to that health protocol is Viva. And Viva is an amazing product. I love this product. It's a nootropic, so it works on the brain, and it allows you to actually sleep better, improve your mood. It helps with anxiety, and we know that. I think that's probably why it was so popular, because people were anxious about their income, they were anxious about their job security, and just being around people who maybe or maybe not had COVID. So we're looking at all aspects, but this is such a super product, and it can even help with hormone imbalances as well. So it's been used for centuries, and it's based on Affron. Affron is from saffron plant. So in crocuses, you've got the middle stamen. That's the Affron or saffron, but it's the Affron, the extract, which is patented, which is what we use, and it's renowned for helping so many different problems. So it can be used by children, kind of again, so teenagers who are stressed out with exams, just pop them this, or just calm them down a little bit. It's a great product. So as I said, we've also covered by Informed Sport. So we have a lot of sports people who use our product, and these are some of our brand ambassadors. And the brand ambassadors are they take the product, they're actually gifted the product, but they don't get paid to use it. They use it because it works. And one of these people here is Tom Chilton, who's a friend of ours, who we introduced to Zinzino earlier in the year. And he swears by it because he's now improved his whole fitness level, because he's able to run around now after racing all day, that he's not in the same pain as he was before. He was in an awful lot of pain afterwards, and that makes a massive difference to his well-being all round. But he loves all the products. He uses the shakes as well when he's trying to reduce his weight before racing. But yeah, so we know that the products are great to be able to be used, and people use them because they work. They get better results. So this is our full range. As you can see here, we've got the 3 tests at the top. We've got our balance oil on the next line. Then we've got our restoration and immune products, and we've also got gut health, and we've got a couple of other skincare products as well. So we've got the Hans and Heidi range and a skin serum as well, and a couple of little shakes here as well, which are superb for maintaining your wellness as well. So as a customer, you have the opportunity to join as a customer. We have fantastic deals for customer in our Premier offers, and I'd ask you please to go back to the people who or the person who's actually introduced you to the product, because that's important that you do go back to them, because they will have a link that they're able to share. And I am hoping that you will get the same sort of experience, or have the same sort of experience as I had, which has been absolutely incredible for me. It's changed my life completely, and I'm just amazed at the difference in my health after a really quite a short amount of time. For those of people who are interested in perhaps having a look at the business opportunity that are behind this product range, which is exceptional, then we will be rejoining again on this link, the same link, at 8 o'clock, and Ambassador Dave Ives will be taking you through. Sorry, Ambassador Black Ives. Who are you? I never know. I'm just promoting you while you're there. He's going to be taking you through the business opportunity and the potential for having an income and an added income on the basis of what you've seen on the products. So thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it, you coming on, and I look forward to seeing you again. And I should point out that every week at 7 o'clock on Thursday for the whole of November, we will be having a product presentation from one partner or another, and then at 8 o'clock we will be having the business presentation every Thursday from then on. So thank you for joining me tonight, and if you're interested in having a look at the business presentation, hop hop off and then hop back on again at 8 o'clock, and Dave will take you through that presentation. Look forward to seeing you. Take care now. God bless.